You're Professor Robert Colby.
Yes.
You are a business professor?
Accounting.
Accounting professor.
Yes.
Um,
You need a business professor? Is that what it is?
no, I can take an accounting professor as well. What's your opinion about the online sales tax?
Well, it will create a lot of difficulties for businesses in general, but for the small business person in particular, because let's say you live in New York and you sell products online and you have customers who purchase from you, let's say in New Jersey, Connecticut, California, all these different states. No, you would be required to collect sales tax from all of your customers and has to be able to prepare, sales tax returns for all of those different jurisdictions. So it could create a hardship for the small business person who has to now, meet all of this compliance cost. So that is really the big obstacle that it presents, because even though you are based in New York, right? And you may be, as I said, you have you have a website and you have customers who are purchasing from you in different states. So let's just say, for argument's sake, you sell to customers in 30 states. You'll have to prepare sales tax return for all of those states. And as a small business person, do you have the resource to be able to pay to get all those different, sales tax returns prepared? Right? So it's the bigger businesses are able to, deal with the cost. It's really the smaller ones that would have the difficulties.
Okay, like basically eBay and Amazon could take it, but like.
I mean, it's a challenge for everyone. But I'm just saying that these more established companies are better able to handle, right? Mm-hmm. And be able to deal with the cost. It's the smaller businesses that would have the hardship, unless there is some type of exemption. In other words, they may have some situation that says, well, if the sales is less than a certain amount, then maybe you don't have to comply. But if it's going to be across the board situation, then everyone would have to be
less than $1 million. Based on what I've read, if it's less than $1 million, then it won't hurt your business. If your sales, they're collecting taxes on businesses that collect more than $1 million per year.
Right, that has generates sales up more than $1 million.
$1 million per year.
Yeah, right. So that's what I'm saying. So, but then again, how do we define what is a small business? I mean, the mere fact you generate $1 million in sales doesn't make you, a big business, and also being able to manage the cost. But yeah, there has to be some way of, I would think, relieving the burden for the smaller businesses, and the cutoff, as you said, is under $1 million in sales, then it will not affect those type businesses.
Okay, and now on starting a small business or a business of any kind, what is the key to having a successful business, or a small business or a big business?
Well, I think to start a small business, you need the resource, meaning that whatever startup capital, but you also need the knowledge in the area of whatever you plan to establish this business in. One of the big obstacles is that you have many individuals who have an interest in a particular field, right? So let's say you may enjoy cooking, so you want to start a restaurant, right? Now, many a times, even though you have the interest in that particular area, you also need to have some type of background in business. So I would say just a basic knowledge of how to run a business. Maybe you take some of these hands-on management type courses to teach you how to manage and run a business. One of the big obstacles that I notice for the small business owners is that they get so caught up with running the business. So for example, I mentioned the restaurant. So you get so caught up in running that restaurant on a daily basis. You're trying to get customers, making sure that the business is operating, but then you start neglecting, the tax situation, which is or the record keeping function, right? Because if you have a business, one of the requirements is that you are required to keep books and records. And what you would notice is that you see many small business people, they get so caught up in running the business that they neglect keeping books and records. they are not filing tax returns on time, they are not filing sales tax, and all of a sudden they get caught up, right, with a lot of those issues that pretty much could put them out of business. So even though they may have a viable business, the mere fact they have ignored their tax compliance side, then they end up with all of these, tax situations that could, put them out of business. So it's a number of things. It's like I normally use the parallel of saying that it's like driving a car. You have to be able to do multiple things at the same time. You have to run the business, but you also have to make sure that you are in compliance, right? The other thing is another key skill is the management aspect, being able to manage people, to be able to supervise, to even hire the appropriate talent for your business. So it's, as I said, it's a number of different things that would be, necessary to establish and operate a successful small business. There are statistics out there that show that many small businesses don't survive beyond the second year, and it is for a number of those reasons. Poor management could be a case where they get caught up with, as I said, the whole tax or lack of compliance when it comes to keeping books and records and preparing the required tax returns.
Okay. Just one more quick question. The response doesn't have to be long. What's the difference between businesses that succeed and businesses that fail?
When you say what's the difference, meaning?
Businesses that become big and businesses that fall apart.
Well, there's a number of reasons why businesses fail, but in terms of being successful, a big part of it is really the individuals who are running the business. Their experience that could help, experience in running a business. But as I said, it's a large number of things that can determine whether your business succeeds. It depends also what the market, whether you're selling a product or service, is what the demand in the market for that item is.
Okay, that's what I need. Thank you very much, Mr. Colby.
Okay, take care.
That last name is CLOVEY. All right, thank you.
No problem.